Hello, Boss Babe Gang. It's your girl KB, and I'm here with special guest Candiss Hart. She is an entrepreneur and a cast member on The Sweet Life LA. How you doing today, love?
I'm blessed. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you. We're excited to have you. So, can you tell us, what is the nature of your business?
Yeah, so my clothing line is more than just fashion. It's altogether a movement. When I came up with this idea, the whole world got shut down. So we're in the pandemic, and all of a sudden, people that were handling business in person in the field got to do it from behind a computer screen, right?
Right.
And so I couldn't imagine getting fully dressed and I'm at home all day. It just didn't make sense. So I thought of this idea to be at home, be comfortable, but also be fashionable.
Okay.
And so that's what Cree is supposed to embody. We're challenging comfort and confidence, but also a lot of things for the community as well.
So, what inspired you to actually develop the whole idea of your business besides COVID and, being at home?
Yes. So I'm a diva. I've always been a diva. I was the kind of girl that, since I was 5, I'd go change my outfit about 5 times on a Thanksgiving dinner with the whole family over just because I got looks and y'all need to see them. So I wanted this line to embody that. I want people to wear Cree and find their inner Cree. Who is that beast within you that you might be keeping composed for whatever reason? Maybe it's people telling you that you can't do this or you got to fit into this little box. I want Cree to empower you to break out of that box and be your full self unapologetically.
So I know you talk about a lot about leadership and the things that you do. So can you tell us what inspired you to become the leader that you are today?
Yes. So one thing that I know and I live by is the fact that leaders really just lead. It's that black and white. It really is that simple. And I've never had a follower bone in my body. And, I used to get into so much trouble about that when I was younger because I just wouldn't follow instructions. And so no parent wants to get that phone call about their kid, right? But from a young age, my mom and my dad realized that I just was truly a leader. I had my own way of doing things. If I disagree with something, I'm going to do it my way. And if I get in trouble about it, I'm going to take that risk because for me, it's always worth it to go that extra mile to execute things in the way that you know is right. And if you learn in the process that you did it wrong, at least you're not regretful. And so leadership is that. The community needs leaders. People need leaders. So many people don't take action because they can't think for themselves. So instead they judge. And I know that when a leader is in the room, we can just kill all of that noise. We can anything that's negative and, keeps people in that negative funk and just lead the way so that people realize that there is another way. You're never out of options.
When you began your career, did you ever think that you would have this leadership role and the abilities?
Yes. So believe it or not, fashion is not my first avenue within my career. I'm a financial advisor and I own an agency that franchises all over the world where I teach people how money works. I teach them how to move from financial insecurity to financial independence. So when I brought this along on my menu of what's on my career board, right? My goal is to meet finance and fashion together, where finance meets fashion, finding a way to intersect those two industries.
What factors would you say gives the ability for a woman to lead?
I believe that women are natural born leaders. It takes a woman to look in the mirror and see that within herself. Society conditions women to think that they are dependent and to think that they need someone else. They need another vice. They need another man even, and they can't do things on their own. But to be honest with you, none of us would be alive without a woman. So in that regard, just there alone, women do lead this entire world. We came from a woman. You came from a woman. Any man came from a woman. And so we just naturally have that mother nature ability within us directly from God above. So I pray that every woman realizes that, they step into that power. Whether you choose to have children on your own or not, you are a leader in every realm.
Okay, so you're big on generational curses and breaking them. Can you tell us what is the definition of being financial literate or financial literacy and its importance?
Absolutely. So Generational curses, Lord have mercy, they come from centuries ago, right? You know, but one thing that I have to make sure that's clear, our parents couldn't teach us what they were never taught. You know, our ancestors couldn't teach us what they were never taught. So just hold on tight to that truth, right? And have some grace with just the process of realizing what you don't know. Don't play the blame game. Take ownership of the fact that as an adult, if I'm speaking to adults, right, it is your responsibility to take that time out to learn the things that you need to be an efficient adult and to break those generational curses. To be financially literate means that you know how money works. You aren't going throughout your days letting money slip between the cracks just because you're frivolous about it. You don't understand that I'll use $10 on coffee or on eating out. If you just decided to invest that money instead, your future self would be so thankful, because what your money can do for you, we as human beings cannot work as hard for ourselves then our money can work hard for us. A wise man told me that about 5 years ago, and it stuck with me. Even in just my 5 year journey of being a financial advisor, I have seen my money be able to perform much harder than me than I ever could do just on income alone. You know, so understanding things like taxes, understanding things like compound interest, things like investments and how your money can work for you can make all of the difference on just your wherewithal and maybe thinking twice about purchasing decisions, you know, because we have spending habits. But to think about it, saving is a habit too, investing is a habit too. It's just, do you know how? Do you understand the benefits so that you can make those conscious decisions with your money?
How does someone without any financial background become financially literate or have the ability to become financial literate?
Yes. So believe it or not, I didn't have any financial background. So the way I started, I networked. As soon as I graduated from UCLA, it's crazy. I was 21 at the time. And I thought I was going to law school. Life is crazy. But I realized a lot of my mentors were great at law, but very financially illiterate,
Okay.
not financially free. So I knew I needed to invest that time learning how money works and networking with that intention. And so I did. I met a guy that's now my mentor. He's in his 30s. He's a Persian Jewish guy, multi-millionaire, and he taught me how to build a business in finance. He taught me literally where to buy the books, how to get licensed, where to actually retrieve the information I needed to free and liberate myself first, and then be able to pour into the community and help them do the same. So if you're someone that maybe just like me, that maybe you don't come from a financial background, you don't know that because your parents couldn't teach you and they damn sure aren't teaching us in school, right? Then I really do recommend that you, for one, open up your mind to learning information that isn't easily accessible, understanding that it is going to be something that it is very unfamiliar. It might be very uncomfortable in the beginning as well because it's so foreign. And then take the actual steps to get yourself in front of the people that can teach you that kind of stuff. I'm actually one of those people, so feel free to reach out to me. I'll teach you, anybody, any day. I love doing it.
On with financial literacy, tell us, how were you able to develop these skills? How long did it take you to get to where you are today?
That's a really good question. So believe it or not, I got licensed in 1 week. I was so hungry. When I say so hungry, because if you can't tell, I'm like a beast in a woman form, you know? And so I take things on by the bullhorn and I just attack, you know, that's me. So when people said standard is about 2 weeks to 4 weeks to get licensed, I said, I'm gonna do this in a week. Ooh. And I did. I passed my test on the first try, and then I quit my job the same day. At the time I was a teacher, and then I was off to the races. I was all about, how do I close a client? How do I sit in front of somebody that knows nothing about money, help them understand the education so I can like stretch their vision and stretch their mind, and then be able to deliver in a way where they see that these different strategies can help them. So to be honest, I believe that you should never stop learning. I learn new things every day, but I became a senior broker in finance in 1 year's time. And I was able to get my business to 6 figures within that 1 year as well. So now my focus is getting us to 7 figures and helping as many people in my agency crack the code for 6 figures too, and beat my time frame. I'm so competitive.
Yeah.
Do it faster than me, you know?
2 days.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that a lot. What type of challenges did you face while starting this journey?
That's such a good question because it's not talked about enough. Moving from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset is tough. It's tough because of everything that comes with it in a very logistic way, but it's even more tough because of all of the outside noises that come from your inside people, right? So the most influential voices in your ear might be family. It might be some of the closest friends to you, and these are people that you love. You've confided in them your whole life. But all of a sudden, you don't understand my journey because it's different and you haven't done it yet.
Right.
So now when I come and I share my experiences with you, it sounds like I'm talking a whole nother language, right? You're looking at me like I'm crazy, not to mention we're in our young 20s at the time. So I'm having conversations with my friends and my family members. We're in our young 20s at the time. So I'm having conversations with my friends and my family members that most people don't have conversations like this until they're in their 50s or 60s. So they're looking at me like, girl, what? And I'm just such a leader. I'm not going to let anybody throw me off my tracks, right? So I'm going to tread away regardless. But I know the person that may not be as mentally tough as I am or as driven as I am, I have seen it time and time again. Those vices will deter them completely. Some people will just give up because they can't handle the pressure or they can't handle those voices telling them otherwise, and they may not have that leadership characteristic just yet. So they fall into the loop of what the majority is doing, what the majority is saying. Yeah. And it takes tenacity. It takes a hunger and a drive that is just undeniable to be able to actually see it through. And that's what I'm hoping I can inspire the world to do, but one person at a time.
Yes, you'll get there. I believe in you.
Yeah, thank you.
What is unique about your business in general?
Yes. So I gotta say businesses because I'm not at the point where it's one yet, although that's the long-term goal. Mm-hmm. The long-term goal is for everything to be under an umbrella. I eventually want Cree to be a nonprofit where honestly the government is funding these beautiful pieces that you see. Yes. And when they're sold, 100% of the profit is going towards scholarships. It's going towards community programs and things like that. It's in the works, but I'm not there yet. Everything is 100% funded by your girl. But long term, that is the vision. And my goal is to have every single person that wears these pieces find their better self. And you're finding it because it's in you. Cree is just helping you locate it. It's helping you look in the mirror and just see a little bit more razzle dazzle than you saw yesterday, And then when it comes to the finances, I do want to get even more strategic with intertwining them because fashion really does meet finance, When I go and I sit in front of someone and I'm helping them realize how their life can be so different 30 years from now based on decisions that they make today, I want to do it in my clothing every day. I want them to look at me and see that vision and even want to actually have the piece of clothes on too, It's a process, brick by brick, but ultimately my goal is to leave a mark on the community so that people just don't take no for an answer. Mm-hmm. They realize that they're never out of options, and if they hit a roadblock, they find it within themselves to become the leader, to create the resources that they were denied. And if you cannot do that, locate the person that can help you do that. And realize that honestly, most of those resources are right here in your community. You just have to, if it's a snake, it would have bit you. You just got to look for it. If you don't look for it, you won't find it.
What advice could you give to those who look up to you and to those who are actually looking to be in the position that you are?
That's such a good question. I feel like there's so much depth to that question because I'm evolving every day. I'm not perfect at all. I just strive to be better than I was yesterday every day. I want to get 1% better a day so that by the end of the year, I'm 365% better. Yes. So my advice to the person that may be looking up to me is go to God first. I have been lost in different seasons and phases of my life, and if it was not for God, I would not have ever been able to be found. I'm sure that I'll be lost again in another phase of my life moving forward, because that's just how life goes. But He is the strength that I stand on. I'm led by God. All of the fruitfulness you see in my life is directly from Him above. And so I say that in such a humble way, because without faith, oh my goodness, I don't know where I would be today. I've gone through some experiences that were made to really break me. And because of His strength, you see a strong woman that you look up to me. And that is just, I want to cry right now, because I remember times where I didn't know if this day would ever be possible. You know, I didn't know if I could be this person that I am today. But God has never let me go. And so if you're the person trying to find out what to do, how to become the best version of yourself, don't even look within. It is within, but because you don't see it within yet, you have to look up. And once you look up, you'll realize that He is right there the whole time. You just got to recognize Him.
That's all we have for today, Boss Babe Gang, but we just want to say thank you for stopping by and joining us. Always remember, never give up on yourself. And this girl here is amazing. I just want to say, Shop Cree.
Yes.
Congratulations again. And you did it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.